Good morning, welcome to Natasha Makes. Got myself in a right sticky situation, literally sticky situation. I'm in the middle of gluing, I'm part prepped, ready to go, and lots of goodies for you today on today's show. Let me just pop this away because we'll come to this in just a minute, but I don't want it drying out. So on the show we have for you today some little things that are going to make beautiful Christmas presents. And which are these? And you can do them in any kind of size you like. Now I call this a pie crust pouch. I don't know what its proper name is meant to be, but that's what I've always called them. There's a bit of glue on my desk. And you can make them in any size. They are perfect if you want to pop your, well, in this one I've got clips and all sorts of things, but they're perfect for all of that. A little clip on there and away you go. I had to giggle because obviously this went out in the newsletter last night, and I woke up this morning to finish off doing all my samples, and I had a lovely message from Laurie who'd sent me a photo of almost the same design. Hers has got a different lid on it, and she was like, I've been making this. So we were comparing notes, giggling at silly o'clock this morning, and we'd made it within half an inch of each other. She'd been working out a design, I'd been working out a design, and so yeah, we had a good giggle about that. So good morning to you, Laurie. Did you go back to sleep in the end? And so this is the size that I'm going to demo today, and I looked at doing, so when I've seen other people's ones of these, I've seen them and they've got sort of thin lids on like that. But I quite like the fact it looks like it's got a bit of a cap on there, and that just made me smile. And the same with that one there. So this is perfect for your half meat heavens. I mean, this I made out of, do you remember we had on the other day, we had the denim and the Liberty fat quarters? Perfect, absolutely perfect. So that's denim on the outside and Liberty lawn in there for that one. Now this one, of course you can just make these with cotton. Just make them with cotton if you want. But I like to experiment with other fabrics, and so this one, ooh, yeah, this is what I'm going to show you today. This is a perfect half meter heaven make, by the way. I think it would make a perfect pouch for your makeup. You just draw up the drawstring and go, and or chocolates for Christmas. You could fill them with some chocolates for Christmas. There's an idea. Yeah, but look, that's what it opens out to. So of course you can contain your stuff in there, and then when you're ready to go, just pull that down. That goes across there. I just tuck that in, pop that in there, and you are ready to go. So, got a little message. So that's what we're doing. That is what we're going to do today. That and some pin flare stuff as well. Let me just see who's with us today and plug that in so that it doesn't run out. Whoops, of juice. It's probably someone telling me that I haven't got my microphone switched on or something that I've forgotten, knowing me. Let's have a quick look, shall we? Jane's here. No grandchildren this week. Having to shield and all that. Who have we? Let's scroll back to the very beginning, shall we? We've got Valerie and Pam. Good morning, and Shirley. Oh yeah, Pam was eager this morning. She got coffee in hand, ready to go. And Shirley and Kate. Good morning, and Sue. Hello, and Kaz. Morning. And Diane and Jacqueline. Good morning, and Ali. Good morning to you. Jennifer and Gail. Hello, and Elizabeth. Good morning. Hello, and Grace and Michelle. Good morning, and Rona, and Kate. Oh, Rona, we did it again the other day, looking at your order going, yeah, nice choice. I do love it. I don't get to pack as many orders now. Inga has sort of taken over the warehouse from me because I just don't have enough time. But occasionally I sneak in there when I print off all the orders and I have a little look. And I'm like, yep. I like that. Or there might be an order that I go, oh, that's going to be beautiful, I'm going to pack that one. So good morning, Fiona and Karen and Amanda and Vanessa. Hello. And Helen, good morning. Yes, we are all well, actually. Captain Small and the bear have gone off to school. They're all very happy. Helen, hubby is decorating around you. Oh, okay. Good luck with that. Good luck with that. A damp and murky South London, Heather. It is really damp and murky. It's a proper stay in and enjoy yourself day. Yes, Pam, I hope it is going to be a really handy Christmas present because you can fill it with all sorts of goodies. Even if it's just chocolates, then that's all good. Oh, it's a nice day in Aberdeen. Well, there you go, you see. Claire's got an important phone call. Good for you. And Grace, good morning, good morning, good morning. And Myra, hello. Yeah, she says, hopes everyone's coping. Do you know what? Yeah, I didn't realise until lockdown just how antisocial I was. I think it's the thing of having two small kids. We don't go out much anyway, so lockdown hasn't been all that different for us, really. Sad, isn't it? Yeah, Jacqueline says, loving the new bags, great for all sorts. They are, they're just a little bit of fun. They're quite easy to make. Yeah. Oh, Claire's just received another delicious delivery of luscious fabrics and a scarf. Excellent. She's going to have a go at making her own as well. We do have, so this weekend was mainly spent by me folding and rolling all the scarves that have now arrived. So we have all of them. So now the next step is to then sort them into all the colours. So when I handpicked all the fabrics, I might have got overexcited. I will put my hand up now and I will say I might have gotten overexcited. What are you going to do? You know, it's my design and everything else. And I thought, well, yeah, I want people to have lots of lovely choice. Yeah, I think we've got over 90 different fabrics now that they've been made in. But they're all beautiful. All beautiful. Geraldine's there with a coffee and a slice of ginger cake. I'm on a fast day today. There's no ginger cake for me. I should just let you enjoy that. Stephanie and Donna, good morning. And Liz, hello. And Denise and Diane and Donna and Sally and Roxanne, hello. And Jill as well. Oh, thank you, John. John Cole Morgan says those bags are so stunning. Well done. Thank you. They are incredibly easy to make. And in fact, I'm going to make it out of the PU today, which is possibly the hardest of the fabrics to make it out of. Go big or go home, right? Absolutely. So, and I'm already home, so I may as well go big. Brenda and Edna and Barbara, hello. Good morning. And Naomi, good morning. What does Laurie say? Morning, Natasha. Yes, I did fall asleep finally. We did have a giggle this morning. Yeah, because we also... I was like, Laurie, I'm going to go and pick some fabrics for the show. Do you want to come with? I don't know why I'm whispering. It's not now 4:30 in the morning. Laurie, do you want to go and pick some fabrics with me? So we video chatted at stupid o'clock this morning, but I didn't realise the signal was a bit bad in the warehouse, so she couldn't actually see everything, so it was a bit pixelated. But you're a good sport, Laurie. Thank you for keeping me company this morning. And Margaret and Karen, hello, morning team makes. She says, you're keeping me sane this morning. I'm on the final coat of varnish on the lounge floor. I feel like I've been doing the downward dog position for 3 days now. But just think how toned those legs will be. I mean, as if your legs aren't toned enough from the heels that you wear. Just think how amazing they're going to look all over again. Morning, Naomi. Lovely to have your company. And Karen and, Anna. Hello, wavy hand. And Fiona and Diane. Hello. And Val. Hello. And Sally. Hello. Was it a coin on the bathroom photo? Was it a chocolate one? No, Elizabeth, it wasn't. So my son has a habit of stealing any coins he can find, and they're meant to go in his piggy bank. It's like finders, keepers, losers, weepers. It was to try and encourage my husband not to just do this when he comes in and leave change everywhere. So Freddie just squirrels around picking up all the money, but he'd got a box and was having races with his sister to see how far they could roll the coins down the box and along my bathroom floor, because, you know, having a nice relaxing bath these days doesn't happen. I'm either joined by a terrified dog with all the, with all the fireworks, or by children who are racing coins everywhere. It's great fun. Oh, Becky says that her Christmas buckwheat arrived today. Smells divine. My whole house smells of it. The warehouse smells of it. Everywhere smells of it because we've got various bags of it everywhere. It's a proper Christmas smell, isn't it? It's really lovely. Oh, it's sunny in Northumberland. Good, 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 good. Oh, and Kirsty's freezing in her conservatory, waiting for his hubby to finish his team meeting and put the heating on. Oh, that's no good. That's no good at all. I gave up and bought, what did I get? I just bought some really good heaters because I was fed up of being really cold, because the heating goes off at 9 and I can't work out our heating system. So I was just like, I'll just buy a heater for the room so we're going to be fine. Christine says, morning Natasha, would like to say a big thank you. I have now finished the Tilda quilt that Jane Alcock designed. It is for my new granddaughter due next week. Congratulations. And Lorraine's left her hubby snoring. Yeah. Best left, I think. Best left. Right, shall we have a look then at what we've got today? Oh, Carol's just noticed the new set. Yeah. What it means is that, oh, hang on, no, I don't want to do that. Don't get rid of everyone. It means that I can put the fabrics out, and it's less, well, it's meant to be less cluttered, but of course I got carried away this morning. But it just means that I can go, right, okay, I've finished with that. I can put that back on there. And yeah, I'm still really, really loving it. And the fact that I can start to get the odd little discreet bit of Christmas out, only because we've got, this could be for Christmas. That's how I'm passing off my Christmas lights and stuff. Set dressing. Yes. Now, just another thing that we're going to have a quick look at as well this morning are, talking of Christmas, which we weren't, but we kind of are now. We've got the Christmas tree surprise kit from Pinfair, where you open it up and it's full of lots and lots of goodies. I'm going to show you how to make that this morning. And I've got a mega bundle actually for you. So if you want that opens up, you can see there, opens up. And if you fancy the large Christmas sleigh kit, and that's going to look great, isn't it? With all your roses and your quality streets and your this and your that's and your goodness knows what's on. Then we've got that on the show today. And if you want to buy that, and there are some brads as well that come, which I'll show you to help decorate that. And if you want it with the book binding glue, we've got a mega bundle for you today. And if you get that, then you'll get for free a ½ meter of Liberty Christmas fabric. Okay, now I've got a few different designs of Liberty Christmas fabric. This will just be while stocks last. I've got a few left over, so I'm just popping those in for anybody buying the mega bundle this morning. Also on the show, which is brand new today, they're brand new today, this is brand new today, is the sewing companion box, which I think is really, really beautiful. Again, makes beautiful gifts. It doesn't have to be a sewing companion box, that could be a jewellery box, and then you could pop little treats in there for Christmas. So whatever you fancy, or if you just fancy it for yourself, just to get yourself a bit more organised and use up some of your gorgeous fabrics, then it's entirely up to you. But they are all on the show today. Yeah. Also on the show today we have got which we're going to be working with is the pleather. So we've got the pleather in the silver by the ½ meter and also in the indigo. Now this is it in the indigo. Let me show you this. So that's the indigo pleather. And actually let me show you this, because this I've got smarfs in this. I love a good paisley, and I've got smarfs in that, and I absolutely loved it. I got very excited about top stitching in a contrasting colour. Probably a little bit too excited, but if you want to try it with some of your ½ meter heavens, and then pop some pleather in your basket, it's by the meter, and they're good long meters as well, so you get a lot for your money there. Then we've got silver, and we've got some of the indigo. Not a whole load of the indigo, there's more of the silver, but we've got that on the show today as well. Also on the show today, we have got now, Couple of little extra half-meter heavens. Let me show you this because I think that this is divine. And look, I couldn't, when I took the photos for the half-meter heaven, I couldn't get across that this is beautiful, sparkly metallic. This is Moda. It's from Moda. It's really, really beautiful. And there it is with its little half-meter heaven friend. Where's my voice this morning? And I just thought that this might be lovely to decorate your sleigh in or to do your Christmas tree in if you've gone for that. And this is the one that I've decorated my Christmas tree in. This is your frosty, forest frosty something or another, again by Moda, with a half-meter there of your teal. Ooh, beautiful, right? Beautiful. And these are, I've popped these on as half-meter heaven prices because that was just the easiest way to do it. But I just think that if you're decorating and making your own things at Christmas, then how gorgeous are these? But of course, don't forget, if you're going for the cartonnage bundle, then you will get a half-meter of Liberty Christmas fabric for free. It's our favorite prize, for free. I'm not going to this year do, I know Black Friday is coming up for lots of companies, and I won't be like halving the price of everything because I don't put that much on in the first place. So part of me feels that we bring you the best prices all year round that we possibly can. And yeah, so part of me feels that if companies can afford to halve the price of everything, maybe they were charging a bit too much in the first place. Anyway, but so we will be bringing you a few little offers at the end of the week, but certainly, you know, we bring you the best we can all year round, and I would rather that than one day where we go, hey, go nuts. I think that's fairer, really, that we bring you our best price all year. So that's just to cover off that. Now, these are half-meters, plain half-meters, and you might think, oh, why have you done this? Why have I done this? That's a very good question, because I have a few of these. And what I haven't done this time, yeah, I know, it's a bit special, isn't it? What I haven't done is cut these into predetermined half-meters. So you can buy them by the half-meter. Like I say, I've got a couple of bolts of this, and if you want contrasting fabrics that work beautifully, then these are your plains. Okay, so then you can buy as much of this and we will cut it in a continuous length. Okay, so I've only had half-meter off the end of this bolt, and then the rest is ready to cut. So I know that someone's already been in and bought a meter of it, and it will come as a continuous length. We can't always do this. We don't have the manpower with all the restrictions in place at the moment to always bring you, you know, cut to order, but when we can, I will always let you know. So this is rather scrummy. It's from the K Facet Collective. It's called Shaggy, and it's in Shaggy and Grey actually, and it is of course by Philip Jacobs. There we go, and I think we can just get the idea of how stunning that is. Of course, this is folded in half, so you will get the full 44 inches, but I just wanted to show you that. So we've got that on the show today. Now, of course, I'm going to make this pouch out of that, and I could use PU, which is what I'm going to do, but I could equally have used any one of these, and it uses about a fat quarter, a little bit more depending if you're fussy cutting, but they're the colours, because you might want it for quilting. I didn't want to predetermine and go, you must use this gorgeous fabric for this. Because that's not very fair. So there it is, have a look at it. But you see other things. I mean, I was looking through and I found this half-meter heaven. I was like, oh, well, that's really beautiful too. And that would also make a beautiful inside. You'd open it up and there'd be all these butterflies, and on the outside you'd have your blue, and then you'd open it up and there would be all of this on the inside. So do take a look at the half metre heavens. They're all there on the website. We put fresh ones up every Thursday. They go up at midnight. And the whole concept of the half metre heavens, and I know a lot of you know because you watch regularly, but we have got a lot of newbies for which we say a big hello. And the concept is to give you a half metre of designer fabric and then a half metre of a plain, because at the moment it's really, really hard to get to a fabric shop and to match your colours. So we've matched the colours for you. We've given you a contrasting colour or one that blends really beautifully, but basically a plain that will go, or a salt batik or something that's going to go with it. And those 2 half metres, so a full metre of fabric, will just be £9.99. So do take a look because we've got a lot on the website. But I just thought I would mention, you know, some of those. And so I try and bring you regularly projects that will take up just that half metre of fabric. Right, let me move this out of the way and then show you. Part of me is worried if it takes me a few minutes to reorganise myself because I've just put everything away, then you'll have to bear with me. But you guys are quite good like that. Okay, so in order to make this, first things first, you see I haven't put anything in it, so when it's all opened out, if you want to fussy cut, of course, yeah, right, if you want a fussy cut, then you can get to that stage. And I've played around when I've made various ones. I almost called it the shower cap, because it does look like an upside down shower cap. Or when you were little, did you read Little Red Riding Hood? Do you remember Little Red Riding Hood when she went off to see her gran? And all the books she's got like, it looks like a shower cap on. Just looking around, I don't know where my other, I've had a tidy up, don't know where anything is anymore. I'll just lean that on there. And then I can see if anyone's saying anything. Is anyone saying anything? Oh, Tina's doing some binding. Lovely, lovely. Oh, Jojo's crochet. Well done. Good job. Elizabeth says, how lovely to help pick out the fabrics. What fun, Laurie. It does. And Laurie says it looks fabulous on the cabinet. It does, you know, that's why I wanted the dresser there, so that I could show everybody what we actually have. Geraldine, yes. So here's the thing. So I only managed to finish off writing up the pattern last night. So Josh is busily doing his thing, and the digital pattern will go up later on today. I got a little bit involved with the Smarfs, I'm not going to lie. Talking of which, actually, the Smarfs, we had a competition on Instagram, so well done to everyone that entered. Do have a look at all the T's and C's on that, because you have to like Natasha Makes, and you have to like my Smarf page as well, which lots of you did. And we've got a competition winner. She knows who she is, because, hang on, I could even find out who it was, to say congratulations. Ooh. Because SJ told me. Who was it, SJ? Who was it? Okay, so you have to have been following both at the official Smarf, it was an Instagram one, and at _ Natasha Makes to have been in with a chance of winning. And then tag a friend or something, I think. That's what you have to do. SJ did this for me. And so we'll run the same competition or similar, so look out for that. And you get to win a Smarf. And it was Jules Bishop. Congratulations, you won the last one. Hurrah. Right, good job. So, ways in which to cut out your circle. Now, Laurie and I had this conversation about what size circle this morning, and she went with a slightly larger one. I've gone with circles for both top and bottom, and that's great. So for the smaller ones, anything up to 12.5 inch, you can use your Fiskars circle cutter, which I most certainly have done. And anything bigger than that, if you want something bigger, then I can heartily recommend this one, which is the Circle Savvy ruler from Creative Grids. Let me show you this. So it's basically like a stripology ruler, but for circles. So if you fold your fabric, you can get into quarters, then you can get a full circle. If you fold it into half, then you can get a semicircle. And you guessed it, if you cut it from a square, just use it as it is, you can get a semicircle. Quarter circle. There we go. And this side is all your full inches. This side gives you 1.5 inch increments. So everything that we've learnt to love from Creative Grids, and I'm halfway through like a, I've been making it with Freddie, lots of different cave fabrics in circles. So we're doing like planets on a quilt for him. I'm hoping it's going to look lovely. So what I would suggest is fussy cutting if you can. Now, I'm not going to take another ½ meter off the bolt because that means that someone else can't get it. But you will see that I did fussy cut with this one here, so that when you open up, that is what you get. And then when you open up the lid, that is what you get, which is what is so absolutely gorgeous about this. So let's see what we can manage with this. We've got that blue one there. So I'm going to fold it and see if I can get the blue somewhere in the middle. So this is the bit that I really enjoy as well, is looking through and going, right, how can I fold that? And when you think, have a little play. So if I'm using the Creative Grids, which I'm going to today, because I want to get that bigger size, I'm going to go to the biggest size that it's got, which is 15.5 inches. I'm going to lay it on here, and you've got your different marks as to where to lay it. And if I put that on there and that on there, by a gnat's whisker, ooh, just move it over a smidgen. Now, what I would recommend, if you're using this, what I would recommend you do is grab yourself an 18mm cutter. She says, having put hers somewhere very usefully. And yeah, so I've lined up all my fabrics. If you want to press it to make sure that everything is flat and lovely, then do. But otherwise, I'm going to go in. I'm lining everything up where it says on my fold line. It's got 2 marks saying fold, 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 fold to get your full circle. So I'm all lined up on there. And here we go. I'm going to go in there, cut round. It's really no different to the stripology in terms of concept. Yes, 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 yes. Look at that. Beautiful. Oh, and give it a quick press. If you want to give it a quick spritz with some best press, then do. Some fabrics are just such a joy, aren't they, to work with? Some people did a little double take this morning when I called the Cave Facet Collective this KFC, and they're like, don't really like KFC, but I do like Cave. No, someone once told me that KFC couldn't be called chicken. I have no idea if it's true or not. It couldn't be called chicken because it didn't resemble chicken closely enough, so that was why it was called KFC. And I was like, oh, I've not been able to eat it ever since. And I say I have absolutely no idea if that's true or not, but just the thought that it might be meant, bah, no. So no, for me, KFC is very, very much the Cave Facet Collective. So Cave, Brandon, and of course, lovely Philip. So yeah, just to make that really clear. Right, so folding then in half again. Sorry if I've put everybody off ever eating that again. Now I've gone for, you can make these any size, and I do say that in the pattern, you know, and but what I would say is make the lid roughly half the size that you do everything else. So if I had enough fabric, I would really fussy cut like I did with this, but with this one now, I'm just going to come in and there we go, go in for, there we go. Oh, lovely. So we get a nice hit of green. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. And I was going to say that can go into scrap. It's a bit beautiful, isn't it, to scrap? But, you know, in it will go. Oh, so this week I'll get all the fabric that was left over from the smarts. So there'll be some really nice scrap coming. Hopefully. That's winging its way. So again, give that a quick spritz. And the first thing we're going to do is just make the lid. So you'll cut out your outer pieces as well. I've done mine. If you want to cut through, I mean, these were a lot of layers to cut through, then you know you can absolutely with that, or you can just use it to mark. And then cut with scissors around if you're using a really thick fabric. So I used it to mark and then cut, so my PU isn't as beautiful. Now, what I would say is we're going to sew round the whole circle and we're going to leave a turning through gap. Now just have a little think, because if you are fussy cutting, then the turning through gap, we're then going to go straight across, and that will be the base of our lid. So when you lift it up, whatever you want, leave your turning through gap on the bottom so that whatever you lift up will be what you see. So if I want it to be that I see all of that, I'll leave my turning gap through there. It just depends how you want to do it. Or if I want to see all of this, it's up to you, but it's just, and especially if you're using a directional print, just something to bear in mind for when you do that. And you can, there's no sort of set amount to do for your turning through gap. I left about 3 inches, I think I wrote on the pattern, but anyway, it's up to you. Go with what works for you, but just leave one big enough. Now, I have increased my stitch length here. I'm going to put it on 1/4 inch and increase my stitch length to about a 3, working with the PU. And I've gone right sides together, and I didn't check if I normally pay bobbin chicken. Let's go. You can clip this if you want with all of your wonder clips and things. It's up to you. Otherwise, just round you go. I've set 1/4 inch so that I can keep my foot flush to the end as I go, and then just moving it around. It might slip around a little bit because it's PU. You know, I'm not too worried as long as I get some sort of circle. If you want to put your hand flat and just sort of turn it to stop it from moving, you can do that. There's lots of ways. If you want to, it's up to you, or you can just hold it, work it round. But again, just making sure that foot keeps lifting, because then you can realign your fabric as you go round. I think that's kind of a little bit at a time. Once you get into the flow, you might be able to just keep going around. Just be aware that when you're working with PU, you don't need to change your needle. I had one lady say, oh, I've ripped my PU. And I think my only thought is that she was using a leather needle, and you just don't need to with this at all. Just keep your normal needle in. If you want to use a walking foot, use a walking foot. That's entirely up to you, and that will keep everything pretty much together as you go around. But this will take you about an hour to make. Not very long really at all. So perfect for gifting, and of course you can put all sorts of goodies inside. And the reason that I used PU was because I looked at it and I thought, oh, do you know what, actually, that would make a really gorgeous gift for putting makeup in. Now, if you want to trim back, this PU has got a little bit of give in it, you see. But if you're working with something that hasn't and you want to trim back with your pinking shears, then do so, but just not where you've left your turning through gap. So if you want to just trim that seam away, take out the bulk so that it's going to lie nice and flush and nice and curvy when you go round, then do. But again, have a look at the fabrics that you've used. If they give a bit and they're going to be fine, then don't worry so much. We get really hung up, don't we, on, oh, but the instruction said to do, you know, just use your common sense with it. You're going to be absolutely fine. To there. Right. And tidy up. There we go. So then you're going to turn everything through. And you're going to press. Now, a word of warning, never press onto the PU, onto the finished side, and use a cooler iron if you want to press onto the other side. I'm going to press, you can use a pressing mat as well, that's the other thing that you can do. Oh, how gorgeous is that? I'm going to press from the top of the cotton, and what I'm going to do, that turning gap where it, you see, beautiful curve all the way around, I'm going to straighten that bit off. So from edge to edge of my turning gap, I'm just going to flip that fabric under and just press it very gently. So ease all those round bits out. Go very, very easy, and it is literally just a quick lick with a cooler iron, and it will. I mean that will feel a bit sticky if you go too hot. So just wait for it to cool, else it will stick under your feet. And then just flip the other bit under. If you want to pop a couple of clips, then do. And I'll show you this on a close-up before we then sew all the way around. So top stitching, this is really bouncy until it's top stitched. You can see, bounce, bounce, bounce. So I've got straight across the top there, and that will be the base of my lid. So when that lid lifts up, that's what we're going to see, which is, you know, I think we'll all agree, a bit lush. So we're going to go in with the seam allowance. I will start and go straight across there. That's going to be the first thing that I do. And I'm going to top stitch really close to the edge. There we go. Holding stitch. I'm going to lift the needle. I'm going to wonder, why did it? Hang on. It's come unthreaded. Of course it has. Of course it has. There we go. Right. Let's try that again, shall we? Oh, I've just managed to unthread it again. Look at me. Very boring for everyone to watch. Right, anyway, what I was trying to do before I unthreaded it was just hold that edge out the way. There we go. And then just top stitch along. And if you want to elongate your stitch even more, then do. You can go up to a 3.2, 3.4, entirely up to you. And then off we go all the way around. And again, I'm using my foot as a guide here. And I'm never watching where my needle's going up and down. I'm watching where my fabric is feeding into my foot to make sure that I'm feeding the fabric into the same point to give me a nice, hopefully even stitch as I go around. I also, obviously, I'm holding my fabric a little bit funny so that you guys can see. As much as we... There we go. And there that is, top stitched all the way around. Ta-da! Oh, I'm quite pleased with that. And so the lid will lift and that's what you'll see. Ha-ha! Right then, let's look at the next bit. If you want to, you can stitch that onto the outer bit, or if you want it really nice and firm, then you can stitch it through both the layers. I'm going to wait and stitch it through both the layers, but if you don't want to see the stitching of it on, then stitch it on now. Right, so again, have a think. I'm going to put these together as I want them to be. So when this is all opened up, because that's the whole thing of this, isn't it? Is that you open it up and you just take everything out that you need, and then you string it up. So it looks like a pie in a pie crust. So think about how it's going to be and what you want, what angle you want, especially if you fussy cut like we have this morning. What do you want to be blossoming in front of you? There we go. So put one on top of the other as they will be, and then ding, ding, ding. Find the midway point. The good old-fashioned folded in half job works an absolute treat there. And then measure 1 inch up from the base. Mark it off. And then you're gonna snip into that, okay? Not with your pinky shears, that'd be a really bad idea. But here we go, so snip up. So you've got a cut in your base like that, all right? And this is now going to be, this is going to create this V here. Can we see? It's going to create that V, which is where this is going to sit. Okay, so with this, what we'll do, there's our V cut. And all I'm going to do is fold that and press it so that it goes flat and flat. So you get a straight line, and we're going to stitch along that straight line, but I'm going to press there first, okay? And you'll do this on your outer and your inner lining. So press it to the wrong side. And this just means that you're going to have a nice shaped channel for your cord or your ribbon or whatever you're using. Do you guys need cord, by the way? Because I've just taken delivery of some. So if you did want some, I can pop that up on the website. It's quite a nice weight, actually. Now, obviously with this, you're not going to press that down. So all I would say is clip that out the way, clip that down. And just stitch along. Now I use a nice long length stitch for this, which means that it acts as a basting stitch. So if you want to take it out later, you can. You don't have to keep it in, although actually I've kept it in on every single one actually so far. So right on that edge. What is going on with my machine today? Why do you not want to stay threaded, you cheeky minx? I might have to just do a full rethread and see what's going on in a minute. Right, okay, so it's been absolutely fine up until now this morning. So along we go. Now here's the thing, it is a little bit springy, so I'm just trying to find what I've got. So if you want to use a pokey tool or some tweezers or something just to make sure. Yeah, so just a little bit on that edge there. Then do this one. Ain't gonna be pretty, we'll do it better with the other one. There we go, just going along that edge. There we go. You just want to sew along there. We'll do the other one. Oh, that's, I'd probably unpick that and do that again, but let's do this one along here. If you think you're going to keep them in, then do a holding stitch and then just sew across. There you go, just sew straight across there like that. I'm going to unpick the other one because that's going to annoy me. It's one of those things, isn't it? If it's not going to annoy you, don't unpick it. That's going to really annoy me because it's actually rucked the fabric as it's gone along there. So just, it's whatever works for you. There we go. Is everyone all right this morning? Did you have a good weekend? What did you get up to? Mine was mainly SMARF dominated rather, although Freddie, lucky boy, has they've managed to, his school is so sweet, they've managed to get together a group of them and keep them as a bubble, so it's part of the school bubble that he's in, and they've got a little group that go off and do stuff in the forest now on a Sunday morning, which is really sweet. Keeps them out of trouble. There we go. So, again, what is going on with my needle? I'm going to have to rethread this properly. I'm just going to do it from the start. You know when something just keeps happening with your machine? How many times, it's twisted up here, that's why. How many times do you, on average, let it get away with it before you give in and just do a full rethread? And hopefully that normally sorts most little funny things out. So with this machine, it's slightly different to any of the others. I have to put the foot down before the needle threader will actually work, because then that takes up the tension, and I don't know if people do that normally, but anyway, let's take that foot up. This is where I went wrong last time, wasn't it? I didn't lay it down after I took the foot up. There we go. Right. There we go, right. And so you'll have, trim those threads off, you'll have your front and your back. Got to remember what I did now. With your little V, front and your back, and you're going to put them right sides together. And right sides together. And if you want to clip them, pin, don't pin. If you're using PU, don't pin. Now, obviously, if you're using cotton, this is an awful lot easier. I'm not this morning. So, again, absolutely fine. Don't worry about it. I wanted to show you like the hardest that it would be using a slippery fabric, and it's still really, really, really achievable. And the thing is that once this is made, your sides are going to be pulled up most of the time anyway. So if circles have been something that have worried you, then this is a great one, because once this is gifted, really, it's very, very rare for that circle to actually be down. So maybe get over your fear with this. It's a nice, easy project. There we go. And you see, when you're sewing with it like this, then you've got the fabric side of the PU. So, you know, you don't really need to use anything fancy, a fancy feet. If you want to use a walking foot, then you can. Now, what I would say is when you start, we're going to start on the edge here. I'm going to go forward right on that V that you've just cut. I'm going to go forward. I'm going to go back. And then we'll whiz round. Okay. So that forward and back is because that's going to be where this is going to happily sit, and that with that channel for the cord or ribbon, or do you know what, you can even use shoelaces through here. It really doesn't matter what it is that you use. Just being a little bit careful as I come around here, because I think my fabric is just slightly over the edge of my PU, so I'm just being cautious as I come around. There we go. But otherwise using 1/4 inch seam as I come round. And then coming around to the side, doing a locking stitch. If you've got a locking stitch, do a locking stitch. If not, a forwards and back will work. Leave a bit of a gap. Again, a locking stitch or forwards and back to now come around. And as you get to that end, again, you're going to go forwards and back just to hold that. If you're working with a fabric that is unforgiving, then, where is that gap? There we go. Then, you know, you might want to pink, but otherwise, when you put your hand in to turn through, go to the very furthest point. This was a tip, I can't remember who gave me this tip, but it's brilliant, because otherwise, I always used to start here at the side and right by, you know, where I've done my turning through gap, and get myself in a right old muddle. But if you put your hand in and go to the very furthest point, this works with everything, go to the very, very furthest point and pull that bit through, everything comes through so much more easily. I don't know, you just don't seem to get all stuffed up and stuck, which means that you can use a slightly smaller turning through gap. Stick your hand back in, ease out those seams, and yes, you will have a gap there where those V's were. That's what you want. That's exactly what you want. That's going to be your channel in a minute. So around we come. And yet it does look like a massive, great big frisbee, and that's absolutely fine. And again, just finger press out those seams, go at it with an iron once you've got all of those nicely pressed out. Just fold that under a little bit there and just press, 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 because we're going to top stitch. So you want this to be nice and neat where you can. Okay. And again, if you're working with pleather, just go easy with your iron. And you're trying to, on that turning through gap, you're trying to emulate that circle, that curve, keeping it going round. And then just, what I do is press one side and then fold the other to meet it. And that's that's worked for me so far. So far, so good. But I will just pop a couple of little clips along there. Just to try to keep that curve going. But like I say, this is not the end of the world, because once you've got your ribbon or your cord in there, you're never going to see it as a perfect circle. So really and truly, don't worry about it. Right, then we're going to go back to the machine. And we're going to start at that V. And again, top stitching right on the edge of that V. Now, if you want to use a walking foot, you can at this point. Just going to see if that is going to come unthreaded again. No, there we go. Okay, so right on the edge, and just help it get going. There we go. Once it gets going, you'll be all right. Just go slow and steady, and then round we come. So top stitch, top stitch, top stitch. And the reason that we're going so close to the edge is because then, as we come round to here, we won't then need, hopefully, this will then close up our turning through gap, because we'll have top stitched really close to the edge. Let's come around here. There we go. So you would take care coming around here. I'm just going to whiz around. Again, using my foot, making sure that as I feed my fabric through, that it's being fed through to the same part of the foot, so that I'm going to get a nice even stitch as I go round. It's really easy otherwise to just watch that needle go up and down and get a little bit hypnotized by it. And again, we're coming round to that V. So forward, right to the end, forwards, backwards, or a holding stitch. And then we're going to start from that dip in the V there. So there's our V, and we're going to start right there and sew around all the way around, and this is going to create that channel for us. Okay. And this should be, if you followed all the measurements and everything, this will be about 3/4 of an inch ish, but again, don't get caught up on it. If you have a mark on your machine, then work to the mark. There's one that says 2 on my machine, so I'm just going to keep that edge as it feeds through, constantly on that 2 as I come around. Constantly turning it to meet that mark. But if you're working on something small, you need to keep stopping, needle down, foot up, spin. This is quite a big circle now, so it will let me sort of feed it through. Nearly there. Oh, look at that, exactly where we started. Hooray, I love it when a plan comes together. And what you'll have all the way round is that nice and even channel all the way around your pleather there. Whoop, there we go. And then just snip away any little threads that you may have in the way. So then next, snip, snip, tidy, tidy, and all that. Do that at your leisure. So we've got 2 lines of stitching going all the way around. We've created that channel. We're gonna, where did we put the, here's the lid. So the lid is gonna go on to cover. Now I've done this both ways when I was testing out this. I've done it so that the lid was right by where the cord comes out. So at the back there, so that when you pull it, you pull everything at the back and the front pulls up. And I've also done it so that the lid is there and all of the cord is at the front. And actually, I'm going to do it that way, I think. But if you want to attach your lid, let's do that now. The old-fashioned way of, there's your V, fold it in half from the V. Finger press it and from that straight bit to straight bit, and oh, the computer having a little musical whatnot, and I would actually find the very center point of this, which is going to be there. So we're going to pop this on our center line. There we are. So we've pressed and we've found our center crease. We've found our center piece on here, which is just there. And I'm going to match that center point to the very top of the center. So directly opposite my V's down there. And I want it, that center point, to go exactly on there. So that you've got your big circle, your little circle, and I'm just going to clip that so that where I've folded everything in half, that line will run all the way down there. Clip, clip. And then that straight bit, you know I said that when you did your seam allowance, you'd come, it curves all the way around, then there's a straight bit where you fold it under your seam allowance, from your turning through gap. You're just going to stitch on that straight line straight across there, just over the top of that stitching, and that will then secure the lid. So that's all we're going to do now. If you think that this is going to get a lot of wear and tear and you're worried about it, then you can always use a triple stitch. I'm going to go into the center. Always lock that stitch off, whether it's going forwards and back, or if you've got on your machine one of those fabulous locking stitches, then great. Now, what you might find is, because you're having to do this from the top of the pleather, that it's a little stickier. So you might just have to help it along a little bit to start off with, or pop your walking foot on, it's up to you. This is the only time with my machine, you can hand stitch it on if you prefer, this is the only time with my machine that it didn't love the pleather. But just guide it through, you'll be fine. Again, if you're using just cotton up and down, then you won't have any of that. But this is the only time that that pleather felt sticky with the machine at all. So just guide it or hand stitch it, it's up to you how you want, but it stitches on just fine in the end. Okay, so once we've done that, then we're going to find a random thread there. We're going to find the center point in there and come an inch up and put a little mark and find whatever color clip we want to put on. Now I use cam clasps. They're just super super easy, and yeah, I find that they go through very very easily, and so I've always stuck with them. This starter kit has given me like 15 different colors. Now I've got the wrong ones there. There we go, that's what I want. Yeah, so one that goes in and one that goes out. And when I mark off on here, so following that center line up about an inch there, then this pokes through really easily. And there we go, pop that the other side. We've got these on the website, by the way. There we go. And then from the base down here, we'll come up again about an inch. And this time, this is going to come from that side so that the plastic clip there. Now you can use magnetic clasps, you can use anorak snaps, you can use whatever you want. But now we've got our fixings and fixtures in. Now what I would say with regard to, yeah, you can see I've just put quite a lot of this now. I'll pop this up on the website. But when you're working out how much you're going to need, especially if you're doing different sizes, pop your cord all the way around the circumference, and then I'd add an extra 8 inches on if I were you. Get yourself a bodkin. Now normally we use the other bodkin, don't we, when we're putting elastics and stuff in, but use this one. Here we go, let me show you this. And all you'll do is pop the end of your cord or your ribbon through there and then pull it up to the tightest bit. So just pull, slide it up there like so, and then you're going to feed it into that channel there that you've just created with that V and take it all the way through. And this is why, there we go. This is why we love a bodkin. It truly is. So round it comes. And just trying to keep it laying flat as it goes around. You can use beautiful ribbons for this. Certainly if you're making smaller ones, then I would go with a thinner ribbon, something like that. And just easing it out as you go. Whee, nearly there. And just keep edging it around as you go. I used to do this with a safety pin, and a number of times it would come undone part way around. I'd be like, no, no. And then once that is through by a few inches, hold it there, and then hold, 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 until the cord is flat. Everything is flat. Okay, so the cord is flat. And then release the bodkin. tie those off. So if people want to do these absolutely flat, then they can, and that's how I know how much of this to use. And then just snip off your edges, and then that's what you're going to see when you open it up. There's your lid there. So for the first time you do this, it feels a bit weird. Pull up, pop anything in there that you need, because you can sort of half open it and it can sort of half hold things like that, like your makeup and stuff like that, so you can see what's actually in there. If you want to odor coat this, of course you can do that as well, but then when you're ready, and if you want it to be really secure, you know, you can just thread that round. Obviously yours will have lots in it, so it won't be flat like that. And there it will be. So yours will have stuff in, like I say, and there you go. There is your little pouch. And once it's got stuff in, it keeps that shape, and it looks so sweet, really, really sweet. But like I say, then once you open it, and you start to open it, then that's what you see on the lid. And then, yeah, as you open it out, pa, 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 pa. And I mean, this is also great if you want to put kids' toys in. If you're going somewhere, maybe you're going out for dinner or something with the kids, and you want to put a bit of Lego or some toys or something in there just to keep them entertained. It works a treat, works an absolute treat. And then do it up, there's your lid, and off you go. So that's the first bit. Like I say, it's a really simple, easy make. Any questions? Oh, Elizabeth says the lights on the dresser look beautiful. Oh, thank you very much. Hey, look at this. I found this. Isn't it beautiful? Ooh, it's a little, I've got to show you this close up. I've been trying really hard not to go to Christmas too early, but I just thought that was stunning. Really, really stunning, and I hadn't seen anything quite like it, so I was really excited and I got one. But if you want, I mean, if anybody wants one, then I can always get hold of them and pop them on the website. Just let me know, because they're a bit gorgeous. So that is now ready to gift or do whatever I need to do with it. Add it there. Let's add it. I've got a couple of these now going on. But just have a bit of fun with it. I thought maybe in velvet with our jacquard fabrics would be a little bit amazing. Now I know there's a couple of you waiting for the navy and the red jacquards. They are coming in this week. I finally had notification all the other jacquards are in stock. But yeah, I just thought they would be a bit gorgeous. Let's have a look. Is there any questions? Oh, Claire made a Christmas tree yesterday. So she could have done the demo. It was her first cartonnage. Wow, fantastic. Oh, Val, bless you. She says, totally agree, Natasha. You're already fantastic on prices. Yeah, we were talking about Black Friday earlier for anyone that missed it, and I said I can't afford to bring the prices down any. I bring you my best price all year round because I just think that's better. Ginny's she's late, dog walking. Fabulous. Drama with a wee lobster boat in trouble at the harbour mouth. Heroic rescue of 2 by the lifeboat crews and Coast Guard in stormy seas. But the wreckage is spread along the rocks today. Huge praise to the brave RNLI and Coast Guard. Do you know what? You've given me goosebumps there. I think anybody that's lived near the sea and has witnessed the RNLI, they are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And yeah, people are brave. They're really brave. Oh, Susan, bless you. She says, good Black Friday. Like the way you do business over the year. Bank balance might not, but I do. It just, I try to be fair all year, and that's what I would want, rather than feeling on Black Friday like, oh, have I been being ripped off the rest of the time? Hi April, how are you? Now, April, I've got to ask you, I've got to go to the post office. Do you want me to weigh? Have you got anything else you want added in? So, sorry everybody, just a quick chat with April here. Yeah, is there anything else you want in your parcel? Otherwise, I will weigh it and get you that price. She lives in Australia, you see, so we'd have to, and that's the same goes for anybody else in Australia or America. If there's anything that you want, then all we have to do is weigh it separately and get you a price, and then add that postage on separately, because it's obviously, it's very, very different. But and because we're a little company, we can do that. You know, otherwise I know that it would be too much for other companies, but for us, we can, you know, we're happy to do that, especially if it's not fair otherwise, is it? You watch a show and you see stuff that you absolutely love, and then you can't get it because it's not in that country. But if you have seen anything that you want, then yeah, we're doing that for April. So we'll of course be fair and do it to anybody else that would like. Shall we Christmas tree? Shall we? Shall we? We're part way through. All right. Well, you're not. I am. Here we go. And somewhere are my instructions, because without them, what could possibly go wrong? Now, cartonnage, I love it. I know that it's not everybody's cup of tea. I don't understand why, but I really, really love it because it's a great way to use your fabrics in a decorative way and have things that are really, really useful. So I think the only thing that sometimes puts people off is that you have to use glue, but that's okay too. So I'm going to show you how to do the outside, and then we'll stick that on. We'll leave that to dry then, and then we'll do the inside, and we'll do some of the other bits, and we'll see how far we get. No idea what the time is. Oh, it's 10. What time is it? I don't. Nothing seems to be. Oh, do you know what? It doesn't even matter. Doesn't even matter. This is one of your outer bits, and it's got holes in it, and that's absolutely fine. What you want to do is grab yourself a ruler, and with a pen of some shape, size or description, let me grab one. You are going to mark across and across and across and across. This will act as a guide. This isn't set in stone. This is just going to act as a guide for where your ribbon is going to go. Now you'll see that these holes have been punched outside in. So that's the outer part, and this is your inner part. So draw it on the inner one. And then what we'll do is, I've just used old scraps of wadding, but you want to pop your wadding on there like that. And you know, you can, if you feel safe enough to do so, then you can use your edge. If you're not going to cut over it, then, you know, I have been known to use that as an edge because it's quite deep. If that doesn't feel good for you, then get your creative grid out instead and work against that. That is your safest bet, but you're going to have to use a bigger blade. She goes going from 0 to hero, from an 18mm blade to a 60mm. There is, of course, the in-between. I just don't know what I've done with all of mine. Honestly, sometimes. There we go. So if you, this is the safest way to do it. Put one of your rulers against there and work your way down. And then what you'll do is you will have your outer piece of fabric. Now I've used that beautiful frosty, gorgeous Moda and made sure that my tree, so I've got Christmas trees for the outside of my Christmas tree. So that's my outside. And then I put my wadding on there. And when I've cut it, I've just got a little bit over the edge. Can you see? So the wadding is cut to the exact side of the Christmas tree. And then what you want to do is, snip off, if you want to, these end bits. And you do that with scissors, or you can do that with your little rotary cutter. Off goes those little snippety edges. This is where actually your rotating cutting mat comes in really handy. just do it with scissors if you want. You don't have to use a what have you. And then pop a little bit of the bookbinding glue along there. It does have to be bookbinding glue. That's why, if you've never done this before, I just thought these looked so lovely. It's got a really quick grab, the bookbinding glue. And also, if you've got the bookbinding glue, it means that you can also decorate little like A5 folders and stuff like that, little notebooks, and you can glue your fabric onto your books and decorate with that, and it's perfect for all of those sorts of things. And again, pop that up and over, and using my finger to just pop that fabric onto there. And you will be repeating this kind of thing on the inner bits as well, but I wanted to show you the outer. Now, in the mega bundle, what you will have are the brads. Split pins is another way. I've sourced them so that they will go in with you. Now, in the instructions, in the actual instructions, it says to get a piece of, well, you can use one of your offcuts of fabric, and with your ribbon, so pick a ribbon, any ribbon. Oh, which ribbon did we actually use in the end with this? This one. And stick the end of the ribbon onto there, and then you'll lace it around the tree. But my tip to you would be, get your brads in a pin, use your pin, there you go, you know then that your brad is going to go through there. So you've already marked your fabric, pop your brad or your split pin through, and open, and this just gives the tree a little bit of texture. So again, find where that hole is, push through with it. This is just how we did it. And then actually what we did instead was wrap the ribbon around the back of the brad. I mean, maybe you've got fancy schmancy split pins that you want to use. You guys do know that I love a bit of paper crafting as well. So the temptation was there, and I thought, no, use what you're going to get. But again, if you're getting the mega bundle with this, like I say, you'll get a ½ meter of Liberty Christmas fabric in there for free. But that's just while stocks last. Okay, so it'll be on a first come, first served basis on that one. If you want this and the Christmas sleigh, they're just lovely ways to decorate the house, aren't they? Maybe you want to put a pot plant, a poinsettia or something in the back of the sleigh, or it's going to be little gifts for someone, make a gorgeous gift, or maybe you're going to just fill it with treats for Christmas. Be the first year that Captain Small will actually be able to reach Christmas treats, which is always a worry. Okay, so when you've done that, then you can either glue it down like it says in the instructions, or you can just loop it around. Works just as well. And pop your brads down there, and then so you will go up, got to remember which way we go now, across there, and then I go across there. It's kind of up to you how you want to do it. That's it, cross down and then go across. So you'll go across both ways and then loop yourself off over another brad, should you wish. should you wish. Or if you want to, as it says in the instructions, get yourself one of your little offcuts of fabric, glue it, and glue that down, and that'll keep that in place. And then what you're going to end up with are all your other ones here, and then you create your hinges. So that will sit along there. Trim that back. Just neatening up, everyone. Bear with me, bear with me. So you've got a base square there, and these are going to sit onto that base square there, but you need to hinge them on somehow. And that is where you will get, and I've put it somewhere, here we go. And you get this white stuff here that you can just see peeping out. And what you will do is just pop some glue, and it's only a tiny bit of glue onto there and onto there, so that that can then hinge using that fabric. That will then, when it's dry, hinge up like that. So these should be a little bit drier. Can you see they're going to come up like that? It's quite a size, because you've also then got the lid, the very, very top of it to go on top. This isn't the full size. And you've got the base as well. So this is quite something. So what we need to do is pop that in place and then apply a little bit of our bookbinding glue along there. Less is more, she says, getting herself in a right old pickle. Pop that on there, anchor it with that. Just check that that's gonna, there we go. Okay, and then you've got another square that you will then stick onto there, and then another one that will eventually glue on top of there. And that is your base. That's going to be a really firm base. So let's move that out of the way for now and have a look at the rest of it. Now, when I said that wasn't quite the top. Whee! Looks like some kind of crazy sea creature, doesn't it? Actually, that's your base. That's what it's going to stand on. So again, you know, I put the 1/2 meter heavens on here because it's perfect for it. We will have, of course, also the innards. Let's do the innards, and then this is your top bit there. So as you can see, and I just used a contrasting fabric. That's where the 1/2 meter heaven was so perfect, because this will then sit on top of that inside part there, and you'll just start to see, so that will hide all of these workings. Can you see there like that? So you can go fancier, it's entirely up to you. And again, when you get your fabric, all you want to do is trim off these edges here. And then just a little bit. I go top and bottom first so that everything is anchored. There's a real, I always want to put on far too much glue. And it's not that that doesn't work, it just means it takes ages. Ages to actually dry. And you always want to, where possible, and where it tells you in the instructions, to go onto the card rather than onto the fabric. I mean, it doesn't matter if you get a little bit onto the fabric, but just use your finger to just smooth those edges there. Spin around. So you can get the tree individually. That's up on the website as well. If you love a bit of cartonnage and you just want to decorate your home with one of these, then there we go. Pop that on there. Last one, and then that's that bit done. These are actually really nice to do with the kids as well. But just decide who gets to do the gluey bit. Like at the age of 6, it is fair to say that Freddie might not be the best person to do the glue, but he could easily fold these over. Now the glue is like, I don't know, do you remember like the PVA glue that you used to use at school in terms of how it comes off? So it just sort of rubs off. So I know I can see I've got a little bit on my cutting mat there. I'm not worried, that will just come off later once it's dry. But if you're worried, just put down a little sheet of baking, whatchamacallit, baking sheets. That's not a difficult word, is it? But it's a Monday morning. There we go, so that's the last one there, and that will pop onto there. So that will be the inside of my tree. But at some point when we do fix these, if you want to have it so that when the tree opens it never goes fully flat, then what we'll do at some point is just when those get stuck on, we'll pop some between here and here, this one here, we'll pop some thread that will go, because you're going to have a centre pot of treats in the middle there, which is what the Christmas tree will open out to. So maybe, you know, you fill it with after dinner mints and you have that in the middle of your Christmas table, or just on the side. I don't know, it's just really beautiful. This is the lid, by the way. This is the top, and that comes around like that. So when I said we haven't actually done the top bit yet, we haven't actually done the top. I'm just going to refer to my instructions, which I might have enlarged because I'm still in denial about needing glasses. I like to think of it more as a quick and easy reference point. Don't laugh, it's all good. Hang on. Right, so we are going to, let's do this bit here, which is this. Now this is the base, this is your base. So again, I'm going to use the teal for the base and find some of the fabric that I had left over. Here we go. And pop that onto there. Now, there's various ways that you can do this. I just go in with my little cutter. Oh, now you see, they've got various ways here, and the way that they've done it is to cut along and then sort of across and along. But you see, always when I'm cutting, I'm going to be leaving enough to fold over. Like this. Now, you can do it so that you bring it up like that, and then there is a fabric fold kind of in the middle there and then you fold over, or you can cut a V out and go all the way round like we've just done and then pull them up. But what is then suggested is that you get an elastic band or something, because you're then going to pop a little strip of glue along those edges to hold it together. So all I'm going to do is go in. I'm going to go in to that edge there and then cut there. And I'll show you this on one side here. So what I'll have, can you see all right, is my glue along there. So that will stick like that. And you can just snip those corners. And you'll repeat that on here. This is one way to do it, like that. And again, if you want to cut those corners or fold that fabric in or whatever you want to do, you're not going to see this bit, but what you will do is put a little run of fabric glue, along that edge there. You see, that's all nice and neat. The other thing that you could just do is to fold that fabric in if you wanted to, like that. It's not quite as neat, so I would cut out. I would go to the effort of doing this bit. If you want to use your scissors, just go in with your scissors. That's easy too. You don't have to use a rotary cutter, but snip down to that section there, and when you come across to here, cut across those edges there. Okay, so we can do that bit there. Let's cut that edge off. So along like that, fold it over, along like that, fold it over. And so when that goes up like that, you'll get, like I say, you'll do that all the way around and you'll get an elastic band. What I'll do is I'll part make it. I'll show you sort of the techniques, and then I'll finish off making it because I know that there are bits that are quite repetitious. But then, oh, there we go. I've already started to glue that one on. This is going to be your lid. So pop that on there, so that then what you'll do, you can do this as accurately or otherwise as you want. And I just go across with a little rotary cutter to take off the edges, but you can do that with scissors if you want to. A little bit like that. And then when you've gone round, this will then sit on top, and you'll put a little dab of glue around the edges. So when these sides are pulled up and you've got a little elastic band holding those together, then that will then sit on top, and that will be the base of your tree. So all of this over here will then sit on that base. So you could have done that in a red, that could have been the base in a, in a different colour, but that's all it is. So that will make your base. That does that. And then the only other thing is to show you, this is the middle bit. Okay, so that's the size of your pot that will sit in there. So it's quite sizable for treats, I have to say. And this will be covered. So you'll cut from whatever, maybe it's going to be this fabric again. There we go, I've got a nice long run of it here. Maybe you know, maybe I'm going to use that for the inside. You'll cut a strip that will fold over and glue, raw edge along there. And then you have inner bits that I would then cover in my contrast fabric that then sit in and cover all of those edges that have turned over. But when you put in these bits that are covered and you glue those onto there, that is the point at which you would then glue these on. Let me show you. So in between your cover bit there and that, and when you go to glue on that piece that's covering all your workings there and that, if you want to add some ribbon or something so that it only opens to there, then do that. And then it will just hold it and it will just frame whatever gifts or treats are in there. It's a really beautiful thing. And then there is the lid, dink, 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 which again, cover in fabric, fold around, glue. So that will be, say for example, covered in fabric, it glued round like that, and that will sit on top. Those little bits will be underneath. So by the time that it really is tall, isn't it? So you see that then sits on top there. That sits on the base, and then it opens up, bink, 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 to have all your treats there. But I'll get this finished off for you and show you on tomorrow's show. So if you tune in at 10 o'clock tomorrow, I'll show you, I'll have it all glued and dried and you can see what it's done. I'll probably have it on the dresser for you. So yeah, that's what we've done today. We've got that as an individual. We've got the Santa sleigh. What do I do with that? Santa sleigh. Which again, great for gifts and stuff. There it is. And again, you can decorate it. We've got bells and everything on the website. Decorate it as you wish. You can get that and the Christmas tree and your glue together, and that will come with a free 1/2 metre of Liberty fabric, Christmas fabric, to get you going. There we go. There are other Liberty fabrics as well, Christmas fabrics. So it'll be a lucky dip of Christmas Liberty fabrics. That's available just on its own if you want. The glue's available just on its own if you want. And if you want a lovely gift to make either for yourself or for somebody else, then the sewing companion box is really beautiful as well. Do take a look at the, like I say, the 1/2 metre heavens, because we've got some beautiful metallic moders. This one, I only had 7 left of that, but I really wanted to show it to you. And this is beautiful. That's what I've been using for my Christmas tree. So do take a look. If you're getting the mega bundle with the free Liberty fabric, then you're also going to get the brads to do all of this fancy schmancy stuff on the outside. So it all looks padded and gorgeous. So there we go. We'll get the digital version of the instructions for the pie crust pouch up later on today, and do join me tomorrow. Thank you ever so much, everyone, for your lovely messages and for being here with me. And oh yeah, Becky says she loves the 1/2 metre heavens. Make beautiful designer fabrics affordable. It's my absolute pleasure. That was always my intention with the 1/2 metre heavens. They tend to be bits we have left over after the end of a project, or just part bolts that I've managed to get my hands on, so that you can discover new designers, you can get your hands on and have a feel of what really lovely fabrics feel like, and also have a play with different colours as well. Oh, Karen's got her Philip Jacobs order in. Now, Karen, I was thinking about you this morning. I thought, is it going to be, when I did it as cut to order, I was like, is Karen going to make a dress out of this? I don't know, but you were in my mind when I thought I won't cut it into just half-metre increments. If you haven't seen Karen, she makes the most incredible dresses and then teams them with the most impossible shoes. Oh, Claire's still on hold after 15 minutes and no answer. Oh, oh, sorry, Laurie. It's like, thank you, spent my money again. Well, you can't take it with you. Julia says, morning, late, soggy doggies. Yeah, know that one. Absolutely know that one. Completely misread that, Laurie. She said the bags look great with the flower inside and the PU on the outside. It's just, yeah, and it's just a different shaped lid to yours, Laurie. It just changes the feel of it, doesn't it? And oh, Elizabeth's got a bit of shaggy coming her way as well. Got to be careful how I say that, hey. And Geraldine's come to the conclusion that she can only fit in an hour's housework a day. The rest is sewing. I think that's fine. And Val, oops, bit of fabric fell into her basket. That happens too. You are in very good company. Right, you lovely lots. I am going to go and start prepping tomorrow's show and see what I can come up with. Oh, no, one last question. I know I keep doing this, it's annoying. I've probably got SJ poised, ready to turn everything off. I'm like, and another thing. I've managed to get a hold of some beautiful quality leather scraps. Do you want them as all black leather scraps and all brown leather scraps, or do you want a mix of both, or do you want to be able to choose? And then we'll start putting some projects together to use up your leather scraps. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Don't forget, we've already got the wallets that lovely Michelle did on the website. So that's one leather project we've already got on there. It's just trying to use lots of different items, isn't it? But leather for trimming, beautiful. We're going to have a look at that. So yeah, pop me a message on the end of here and let me know if you would rather have just solely black leather scraps or brown leather scraps, or if you want them mixed. Let me know. All right, have a lovely rest of the day. Take care. Bye bye.